And we are starting with, as usual, with some short list of questions that we are going to cover today. So first of all, we will talk about what is the communicative approach in teaching foreign language, in teaching English. Why is it so important? And how to implement this communicative approach into our new Ukrainian school classes, classes of English. I'd like to say one more thing, that I understand that mostly, according to the announcement, you decided to take part in this webinar because maybe you are connected with the new Ukrainian school and you are going to maybe work with according to these new rules, or you are already piloting the classes, with according to NUS. But for those who are not working or haven't worked yet with new Ukrainian school, I'm sure this webinar is going to be useful too, because the communicative approach in teaching foreign language is one of the most effective and widespread now in the world, all over the world. And the main specialists and the main scientists in the sphere of English language teaching really advise and recommend to use this approach in the process of our teaching, for having the highest and the best results among our students. So the list of questions for the day is, you can see on this slide, and as a rule, as usual, I'd like to draw your attention to the point that, of course, after this webinar, you will receive the certificate within a week attached to your thank you letter. Be sure to check your junk mail folder as well, because it can be there. Let's start, and we'll start with some quite general thing. All of us know that there are 4 kinds of skills we have. We know the previous or the most classical names of them. I mean, skills like competencies. I mean, this one. So we have reading, listening, writing, and speaking, 4 main competencies while we are teaching or studying, learning English, or another language. So now in the brackets, I placed here on this slide the new names of all of these competencies. So reading, now it's visual perception according to the new Ukrainian school. For those who don't know, maybe, or in Ukrainian we put it as зорове сприйняття. Listening, it's auditory perception. Writing production, and speaking, oral production, producing, excuse me. So now I have a question for the audience, for you. This one. Which kind of skills, I mean, which kind of competences is the most difficult for your students? Can you give me some answers? Now I can see that mostly we have speaking and writing. I cannot evaluate the number of answers, but mostly it's as far as I can, because we have a great audience and a lot of answers here. We can see here speaking mostly, writing also, and partly listening. Speaking, writing, and listening. So in order to give my own answer for this question, I'd like to show you such kind of picture. Maybe you've seen it already. This one, actually. The skills and how, and the level of the skills, actually. Starting on the left, we have reading, yeah? Reading is one of the best skills that, best developed, I mean, skills that our students have, yeah? After that, we have listening. Listening is difficult, I agree, completely, especially for those who haven't trained their ear yet, yeah, trained enough. But it can be so. Writing is much worse. They can write, but they are making mistakes, of course. But writing, why is writing has the second place but not the first one in this chart? Yeah, because writing for writing we need to have some time, yeah, so they can check something on the internet, they can, I don't know, do some things, maybe ask some friends, or doing something for having their writing so, yeah. But speaking is completely another story. We cannot have, of course they can prepare, yeah, they can prepare, write down something, learn by heart, and so on. But of course, we understand that sometimes we need to speak just here and now without any preparation. We have different situations in our life when we need to talk to somebody about something. But our speaking skills are not developed even after studying well at school or something, or during some doing some course, or I don't know how about you, but I have lots of different cases in my teaching experience when students are coming, even private students. It doesn't matter, either they are I don't know, some teenagers or adults, they are coming to school courses, to private teaching, and they tell that they don't know English. Of course, I give them placement tests in order to understand what they know. And this placement test very often in such cases shows a very high good results. I mean, it may be B1, or sometimes even B2. And as usually I ask about it, so you have good level of English, why, what do you mean that you don't know it? The answer is very simple, I cannot speak. And what that I know, where should I don't know, implement, and how this present perfect, and what the difference between present perfect simple and present perfect continuous. Yeah, I know it. I know how to make this sentence. Yeah, but what? But how to use it? When? I cannot do it fluently. I'm afraid of it. I have the psychological barrier and so on. So I cannot use English. I don't know English actually. So it means that all of our, I don't know, all of our skills, results of our work with our students goes nowhere. They cannot speak. This is the biggest problem. So in order to get rid of such kind of problems, main methodologists, yeah, and very I don't know, experienced people from Britain, from different institutes and scientific organizations, decided that the communicative approach is the best one for not to have such kind of problems in future, yeah, with our students. What does it mean, communicative approach? It means that this is a teaching approach that highlights the importance of real communication for learning to take place. So, when we are in different situations, we need to ask how to get somewhere. We need to express our feelings or point of view, or we need to agree or disagree with something or somebody. We can use English freely without any barriers, without any problems inside. Why also speaking is difficult thing? Because speaking is a real skill. And this skill I like to compare with, for example, I don't know, driving a car. Yeah, we can know all the rules. We can know the, I don't know, the system of car, how it works, and so on. But if we don't drive, if we don't have enough practice in this field, yeah, we cannot drive well. And if we drive for a long time, but then because of some reasons we stop doing it for some, again, long enough period of time, after that it's very difficult for us to come back to such activity. Yeah, we feel not so confident. Sometimes people are nervous, afraid, or so on. So with speaking, this thing is completely the same. The points are completely the same. When we speak enough, we develop our speaking skills and we can speak fluently or fluently enough. But in any case, we can speak. If we don't develop these skills, or if we forget about it, so we leave these speaking skills for some time, unfortunately it stops working. And we, like a dog, can understand everything but cannot express our point of view. In order to avoid it, I'd like you to draw attention to the ways how to develop communicative competence. First of all, it's using language for different purposes and functions. What does it mean? It means that during our class, we need to use language for different purposes, not only in the points where it's just written speak or speaking. We should start our speaking process from every beginning. I understand that for some students it may be difficult, yeah, but believe me, they get used to, because our classes mostly they have different activities, these classes, but they have a very similar structure. So for example, when you come to the class, you say hello. Come into the class, you say hello, hello, sit down, different phrases that from class to class, you repeat these phrases and they start to understand them, to react somehow, to know what you want from them. So this approach works with another different activities like open your books, close your books, and so on. So we should use our language for different purposes and functions. It's one point. Another one, varying the use of language according to the settings and participants. yeah, it depends level of our students, the situation that we are now, and so on. We will have one activity a little bit later, and you will see how to vary the use of language. Yeah. Then producing and understanding different types of text. This communicative approach helps us to show students that communication is not only about the task in their book and the texts in their book, yeah, and discussing of different topics according to the program. Yeah, it means that we can use our communication in everyday life, like, for example, showing surprise. Really? Yeah, something like this. Or I don't know, some words that we can use for showing that we are happy, sad, or so on. Wow, or some others. Next one is maintaining communication despite linguistic limitations through the use of different stages. Yeah, I understand that the 5th grade and the 11th grade are completely different according to the level of English, and of course those things that the students of 11th grade can really tell you are not available for the younger teenagers. Yeah, but in any case, it doesn't mean that we shouldn't use our communicative approach along such kind of classes. We just have to choose another words, another phrases, maybe simple constructions. Here I understand it's maybe tricky a little bit for teachers, because you cannot express all the things you would like to say them or use all the tenses, but it helps our students to not to feel to feel more confident in such kind of communication. Believe me, with such approach, they will grow faster in their speaking skills. Yeah. What is the role of teacher in the communicative approach? First of all, you as teachers should set the communicative context of the lesson. Yeah, it's easy enough to do when we have some book, some topic, and the communicative context. I will show you a little bit later how can you find, or how can you set this communicative context according to the book Prepare, for example. Then managing learners and creating opportunities for communication. Here it's quite important thing, because we all understand that class is a group of kids. Some of them study better, some of them a little bit worse. Maybe some of them have even tutors or extra classes, and they can communicate faster. And if we only give opportunity to those who can, those who cannot may just simple sit and not to develop these skills. So we have to manage learners and give them, all of them, to each student the opportunity to communicate. Next one, maintaining learner motivation. Maintaining motivation means to give them tasks that are interesting for them and to explain them or show them through our tasks why English is important for them. Maybe to give them some examples from everyday life, from the things you know, or show them that, for example, you are playing computer games, you know that there all the communication is in English. Besides, my cousin, he's 13 years old now, he likes computer games and he wants to be a programmer. He's a very smart boy, but he knows lots of different words and word combinations from computer games too. So, and one of his main motivation for studying English, I'm giving him some extra classes, yeah. One was his most motivation was to understand and to have an ability to communicate with other participants of this game. So one of the things. Establishing a welcoming and safe environment. Yeah, I've just told you that we cannot speak sometimes, not because of we don't have enough skill development, yeah, but also because there is a psychological barrier inside of us. So we shouldn't create the atmosphere that bothers our students to speak. Giving instructions and setting activities, how to give instruction and set activities clearly for them to understand. Today, a little bit later, we'll talk about it. And monitoring, learning, and providing constructive feedback. This is actually the topic of tomorrow's webinar. My colleague Tatiana will give you some useful tips how to evaluate communicative process, yeah. So about it you will hear tomorrow, and today we will talk about the communicative activities and different approaches. So now we will discuss different kinds of activities for a communicative approach lesson. Which kind of activities there are, how to use them, and so on. There are going to be just 4 of them, general ones, and the 5th one, I'll show you one of the favorite activities. So, first of all, it's role play. It's clear, yeah, that we have some groups of kids, of our teens, excuse me, they're not kids anymore, they're teens. Role plays, they enable learners to imagine themselves in realistic situations and like rehearse before they need to use English in real life. Which situation to create? It depends on your creativity, completely. It can be just simple like bus stop or, I don't know, situation in cafe, restaurant, and so on. For our 5th grade, yeah, for teens in grade number 5, it can be some average situations. Like, I don't know, some... it can be less creative, like the situation in shop, yeah, or more creative, like, for example, 3 or 4 or 5, I don't know, group of kids are gathering together and decide to have new video in TikTok, for example, and how they are discussing the scenario, what are they doing, who should stand here, who there, they can discuss all the process of creating new video for TikTok, just in English. It's different like situations, yeah. For those who are older, I remember, for example, from my school age, I was studying in the 9th grade already at that time, and in law class, I was studying law deeply, and our teacher gave us the opportunity to model the system of elections. We were modeling elections. Some of us, it was for all the class. Some of us were voting. Some of us were having some demonstrations or protests and so on. So we were discussing all the process of voting in English. It's also possible. It's like CLIL. It was more like CLIL, yeah, connecting law and English, but also possible to develop communicative skills. Another activity is the information gap activities. Activities with where we have not enough information, require learners to talk to each other and find out missing information they need to perform a certain task. Usually you divide your students into some groups. They are completing the common task, but some of them have one information, some of them another, and for completing the task fully, they need to communicate to each other in order to know some new details for completing the task successfully. Information gap. Another one is Jigsaw Activities. Jigsaw Activities, you can see the scheme actually on the right of Jigsaw Activities. You divide your students into 3 groups or more, it depends on you. So you divide your students into 3 groups. There are 2 home groups and 1 group of experts. You give to the 1 home group, you give some task. Yes, some story it can be, or other like texts, different task. Yeah, they read it or work with it together. They understand what is this text about. For example, let's discuss it as a text. Yeah, what is this text about? And then they are going to expert group and explain the main points and details of this task, of this text, and so on. After that, this expert group comes to home group number 2 and tell them these main points, how they understood it, what should it be, what should the task be, and so on. And after that, home group comes to group now, second home group comes to group number 1 and explain them how they understood, what should they do, and so on. And after that, group number 1 and group number 2, 2 home groups, they try to, the second group explains, the first group corrects, and so on. Expert helps, and so on. So they have the circle communication, like telling one story, one task to one another, and then after that they have circle communication. So such kind of jigsaw activities, they involve learners reading, first of all, the task that you give, listening, or performing different tasks at the same time. First of all, they are working at the same time, and later sharing what they have done with their peers. Yeah, so it's like circle communication. Besides that, collaboration too. They develop collaboration like this, of course. And the task, the activity for older students, I'd say, it's open-ended discussions and debates. You give them some topic, divide them into several groups, yeah, as usual, because debates, it's 2 groups, pros and cons, for and against, and so on. Such kind of activities, they enable learners to share their own views on topics and use their communicative resource to convey ideas, make points, and agree and disagree with others. Besides, such kind of activities not only help them to develop their speaking skills, but also help them to prepare for the tasks like writing essays, yeah, essays that have the point of view essays, yeah, where we need to write down one text with pros and cons according to one topic. So these were the activities, and now I would like to show you another one that one of my favorites, actually. The activity has the name Say It Like. Say it like. And then you can choose the topic you wish. You can implement this activity into your teaching process in the 5th grade, as well as in the 11th one, I don't know, or 9th one. So we choose how to do it. We choose one sentence. It can be sentence according to your grammar topic. It can be sentence, just one sentence from your any text of your any textbook, or it can be just any sentence you need or you have decided to choose. I chose very simple one. She speaks English. Quite simple. After that, we need to say it like somebody or like something. I chose for our today's activity, I chose very simple topic, emotions. Yeah, we know these words, all of us, our students of the 5th grade know these words too already. So let's discuss emotions. Say it like you are happy. How can you, I understand that that having communication activities in the framework of webinar and not the live session, yeah? I mean, offline session, excuse me. It's not so easy, but let's try. Dear colleagues, let's try. So can you now text me here in the chat box the shape to change somehow the sentence? You can add extra words, you can change grammar, you can change the framework of the sentence. How can we say this sentence? How can I show that I'm happy to express it? For example, you are as a teacher, yeah, you are happy to hear that your student speaks English. So how can you express it? In English or another way? Add any words. Yeah, you can smile. I agree with smile. Yeah, but hooray, she speaks English. Yeah, great. Fluently adding new words. Yeah, she really speaks English. Agree. Cool. Of course. Wow. Other words. Yeah. So we are changing, of course, while speaking, we add some emotions. We show it somehow with our face, yeah, smile, eyes, and so on. But she speaks perfect. Yeah, she speaks English perfectly. Yeah. Okay. She definitely speaks English. Luckily, yeah, luckily. Amazing. She speaks perfect. Yeah, I'm proud of you. Great. Yeah, we can say all of this phrase and to show that we are happy. This is my version of this sentence, actually. Wow, she speaks English fluently. Can you see that? Yeah. One of the way. Okay. Say it like you are sad. You are sad. Write the version when you are sad. Now I can see the previous answers. Still, yes, she does speak English. Besides, now our colleague Larissa wrote us that she does speak English. I understand that it's not for the 5th grade, but for the older students, it's great way to train not only new words or some extra words, but we can show it through grammar too, with help of grammar. Yeah, so she does speak English. Great, of course. Unfortunately, she speaks English. Yeah, so it means that we don't understand, for example, her. She speaks English. I wish she could speak English. Yeah, again, grammar. Svetlana also, thanks a lot, wrote us grammatical approach. Yeah. Your English is poor. Yeah. Nothing to be said about. I agree, Antonina, that is nothing to be said about. Yeah, but we are trying, but we are trying to express our emotions somehow. Yeah. It's poor. You should improve your English using modal verbs. Yeah. Oh my God, what is in English? Yeah. It's a pity. She can't speak English. Yeah. Great. Okay. My variant. Yeah. She doesn't speak English at all. That's a pity. Yeah. Is it English? You have questions now? Yeah. Again, grammar. Questions, training grammar. Also, yeah. Okay. Okay. Thanks a lot. Another one. Angry. Angry or annoyed. When you are annoyed. When you don't like it. When you are annoyed that that she speaks English, that she speaks, or that she speaks only English, or leave me alone. It would be better for her not to speak English. Yeah. Yes, Svetlana, great. She's always speaking English to show our annoyment through present continuous. Great. Yeah, it's grammar. Grammar approach. Again, adding some words. Yeah, gosh, she speaks English. Yeah. Crows, maybe sometimes. It depends on the person and on the person's emotions. Yeah. Agree. Agree, not bad. Yeah. You could do it, but you could do it better not to drive me crazy. Yeah, some phrasal verbs, using of phrasal verbs or of some expressions, idioms, also possible. Yeah. You're always making so many mistakes while speaking English. Agree. Yeah. All the sentence. Great. Okay. Thanks a lot. Now, my way. So, oh my God. Again, she is always speaking English, for example. It's horrible. Yeah. Okay. Next one. Next one. We are like surprised. How can we show that we are surprised? We didn't expect it, but now we can see that she speaks. She's so talkative, yeah, new words. Unbelievable, she speaks English. Really? Wow, yeah. Wow, you're speaking English. Yeah, surprise. Oh, perfect, you speak English. Yeah, we express this way our surprise. Yeah, different, adding new words, asking some questions. Really? English? She? Yeah, something like this. Yeah. She speaks like a bird. Yeah, idiom. Great. So, amazing. Again, adding new words, some emotional ones. You must be kidding. All the phrase, all the cliche. Yeah. Great. Thanks a lot, dear colleagues. And now, yeah, my version of expressing surprise. Yeah. Oh, really? Does she speak English? Really? Yeah. It's like some surprise. So, dear colleagues, while completing this task, this activity, I'd say, I hope that you could see that. Oh, thanks a lot, Svetlana Borisovna. Thanks a lot. It's really tag questions. Tag questions is the great way to show your surprise too. Okay, and so through this activity, we had opportunity to see how we can use just one simple phrase. It was simple. You can use any other phrase. You can give them, our students, any other framework. I mean, we should use only some words of emotions, yeah, or we should use only grammar constructions, or guys, you can use anything you wish, anything you know. Just show me. Just make the sentence that I need, that I ask. So it depends, but using this very simple activity, you can first of all warm up your students somehow, yeah. You can make the revision of their knowledge. I mean, not the total revision, of course, for some mark and so on, but they are making the revision. How can they say it in real life? Yeah, maybe look, we can see now the answers like, I can't believe. Yeah, these phrases we can hear very often in different movies, from some bloggers if they watch YouTube, in computer games, and so on. Different sounds like, wow, really? Are you kidding? And so on. They are also widely used in different English-speaking sources that they can listen to, or that they can, I don't know, read in their everyday life. Yeah, sometimes. Okay, so I hope that it was useful for you, this one. And now we are moving further, and I'd like to show you how speaking activities are presented in the book Prepare for the New Ukrainian School from Cambridge University Press and the Linguist Publishing House. So, first of all, I'd like to draw your attention to the point that speaking activity that we have in this book, activities, different ones, actually. Speaking activities are not only the pictures and the description of task for our students. I would highly recommend you to draw your attention to the teacher's book. The teacher's book for Prepare is, I'd say, it's like the complete methodological guide where you can find lots of different kinds of activities that you can use, not only for speaking, like for some certain speaking task, but for other tasks too. These speaking activities can help you to develop your speaking skills with your students, yeah? So let's compare. Look how the task in the middle, I mean, on the left, actually, you can see two pictures, yeah? Except the picture of cover of Prepare book. On the left, you can see the task, how it looks in student's book. It's just walk around the class, ask and answer questions, use the phrases in the box. Yeah, you can see the box with phrases, some examples, and just pictures. That's it. Yeah. In teacher's book, the screenshot on the right, you can see the description of this task. And first of all, it's written there that you have to check that the student understand the phrases in the box by asking them to mime each one, yeah? Then drill the questions as a class, making sure the students sound interested when they ask the questions and give their short answer. Next, tell them to stand up and give them 5-10 minutes to ask the questions to as many of their classmates as they can. Do class feedback, encourage them to make a note of the answers. In group, ask them to produce a poster with their results. The poster could include a graph or pie chart to show how many students can do each action. So you can see the fully described task, yeah? It's only up to you whether to use all the recommendations or to use some of them. You can see it according to your students because some of them have a lower level, higher level. It depends. So you as a professionals can choose it by your own, but you can see that just simple task with in the student's book with several just prompts and several pictures can be worked, can be used, I mean, from different sites. So it's only up to you whether to use all the recommendations or not. But you have choice, and you have total methodological approach. Excuse me, one moment. I would like to show you another example. Another example of speaking skills, of developing speaking skills in this book. Look, please. Again, on the left, we have the screenshot from the book. It's only several pictures, yeah, and the short description. Use the pictures to talk about your daily routine. That's it. And one example, I wake up at 6:45, yeah? But on the right, there is the screenshot from your teacher's book, and there is a huge, again, description how to work with these pictures, only pictures, and how to develop speaking skills among your students. Yeah. Also, I'd like to show you one more example. It's the screenshot from actually the student's book. And in some tasks, there is a huge also description that helps students to develop their speaking. First of all, ask and answer the questions in grammar exercise 4 with your partner. It's the previous one. And exercise number 2 that you can see here. Work in pairs, write 5 questions in the present or past, so we can have choice, grammatical choice, yeah, grammar choice. Use the prompts to help you, then ask your partner the questions. So we have some questions, they need to make them, yeah, but then you are able to divide your students into groups, different groups, and they may, or into pairs, it depends on you, and they may find something in common that they do every day or something like this, and they use the phrase we both do something. Each group write the list of things that they are doing both, and then after that you can compare, you can find the winner, you can compare the results, how many how many, for example, how many points some group has in common, and which group is the winner, and which group is more friendly, I don't know, or more collaborative, or so on. So it depends just on you, but you have wide range of different activities, and you can choose just according to your class. But I would like to draw attention to the next point. Not only speaking blocks, like I've just showed you on the previous slides, have just speaking activities, and that's it. All the book Prepare is based on speaking, on this communicative approach, actually. So what does it mean? It means that they can use English language, I mean speaking, yeah, this producing skills. They can use English language along all the unit. Unit has only 2 spreads. Each, in one book, there are 20 units. So it means that they cover lots of different communication topics, yeah? So each spread has, look at this slide, I'd like to show you with red signs, yeah, where we can speak. So the first spread of our unit, sample unit, yeah, first of all, you start with the part about you. About you part, there is the topic for discussion that connects our student with the main topic. Our main topic is feeling good here. So there are some questions that help them to understand that they are connected. So this topic is also about them. If not about them, about their classmate, for example, about they can not only develop their speaking skills, but also they can see something in common, yeah, with their classmates, or they can know some new information about their classmates if, for example, this is a topic like sport or something like this. So first of all, we start with speaking, then we are completing some tasks, and on the next spread already we have talking points. It's at the top of the page, and there at the bottom of the page we have some also questions, talk about something, so there are examples and different activities. It's the first spread, and the second spread of this book also shows us that there is text reading, yeah, reading vocabulary, we are reading, discussing something, and after that we start the comprehension check part. We are discussing, and you can see 2 red signs at the bottom of the page. First of all, they discuss in groups what is good for them, what is bad for them, because the topic is about health. And the last, at the end of this page, they can see the block speaking. You've just seen them on the previous slides, yeah? So, dear colleagues, I would like to say that the book Prepare for the New Ukrainian School helps our students to really, first of all, to speak, to use their English language, yeah, in everyday communication, in everyday life, and also to prepare them for exams from every beginning, from the 5th grade, for, I mean, DPA, external evaluation, and so on, ZNO, and so on, and other exams, yeah? So they feel more confident, and they really can understand that they know English. Not only know some words, separate words, word list that we ask them to learn by heart, not only to know some, I don't know, some phrases or some grammar topic, yeah, some tenses, conditionals, it depends on the level of book, yeah. they can really speak and use all of these things that they have already studied. Also, one more interesting and very useful point of this book, that they from every first unit they start studying, of course, some grammar, some vocabulary, and so on. It doesn't mean that in the further units you cannot see that previous information. I mean, they all the time they have the topics that are connected. These topics make them revise grammar, combine this grammar with the previous one, with some future topics, combine this vocabulary, use it all the time in order to revise, and make their speaking process fluent. Yeah. So this book helps them to speak fluently as a result. And this is actually the main task of studying language in general. Yeah. So that's it for today. That's all the information. You can vote for this book for the NUS grade 5. Yeah. And tomorrow, as I've already told you, tomorrow you will have another webinar with my colleague Katsion, and she will tell you how to evaluate different speaking and communicating activities. Yeah. So I'd like to remind you one more time that you will receive the certificate within 1 week attached to your thank you letter. Check please your junk mail folder. Yeah, and I would like to end up with a general question. If you have any questions, I wonder. Yeah, thanks a lot. I can see the question about buying Prepare. Yeah. Look, Ludmila, you will get this thank you letter. After that, you will be able to fill in the form. Yeah, and after filling in the form, we will connect with you, and you can buy it. Or you have another way to buy it. Look. Here is our contact details of me and my colleague. You can contact us and ask any questions about Prepare. We can give you different methodological approaches and other things that you are interested in. Also, one moment. Here are another details that we have. The details of our company, Linguist company, that is the official distributor of Cambridge University Press in Ukraine. And you can contact this phone number or email or other ways you wish